welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on Scraplift Crafternoon and day 17 of Scraptember. First off, let's address Scraplift Crafternoon. Today we are scraplifting one of our very own, Miss Karen. She is on YouTube and Instagram at A Little Kinder. So make sure you check out her accounts and give her some love. I will post her layout that we are scraplifting up here in the corner for you. It's got lots of beautiful circles. She used Vicky Boot and Fernwood to create that layout. It is one of my favorite collections, so much so that I bought it twice, a year apart, no less. So, but I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to be using my September counterfeit kit. And I pulled some papers to play with. I will be cutting some of these into the circles that you see on her beautiful layout. I'm going to be scrapbooking these photos of my kitten when he was a kitten. Jasper is now full grown, but this was right after we got him. In fact, this is probably within a few days, and I was holding him in the palm of my hand. And about 6 weeks later, I decided to try it again, and he was having none of it. So, you know how kitties are. So I've got some ephemera and some labels for journaling, some chipboard stickers, some alpha thickers, some washi, because I included washi in my kit. And that brings me to something new. This is a brand new roll of washi I have never opened. So that is what I'm going to be using for the Scraptember prompt. It is brand new. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. I'm going to die cut some circles for you, or for this layout, and I will be right back. So I did a whole lot of die cutting circles off camera. I die cut 6 of both sizes that I used. I trimmed down some scraps, and then I put my washi on white cardstock. This is just a preference of mine. I really prefer adhering it to white cardstock and then cutting out the washi from the cardstock that way to give it some stability. I also don't like using washi that is transparent on a layout unless that's the look I'm going for. In this instance, it's not, so I just put all 3 pieces on white cardstock, and then I'm going to adhere them on this little, I'm going to call it a photo mat, large border, whatever you want to call it. Kind of wanting that floral trim to peek out on that right hand side. I have also matted my photos in on one of those pattern papers, and I'm going to put my photos onto my background wonky. They're not going to be straight like Karen's are. I'm also not going to be using cut aparts to layer behind my photos. I'm only going to be using the circles for this layout. Now, all of these circles I have taken the time to distress with my Tim Holtz distressor, and I did that off camera, of course. And so now I'm just going to kind of try to decide where they're going to end up. I'm lightly tacking them in the middle with my ATG gun just to get them to sit still. I can still move them around if necessary. So here is where you see it becomes important for the fact that I am just lightly tacking them, because I picked up the smaller butterfly circle and I moved it to the other side, and if I had really glued that down, I would not have been able to do that. And so I'm just kind of playing with the placement here. I do have Karen's layout off to the side on my iPad that I can glance at. You can't see that, but it's there. So I went off camera for a minute. I think I got interrupted by a kid or something, and now I'm just going to continue to layer out these circles. I really chose the full range from my counterfeit kit to get all of the colors on here. I was lucky enough that my photos are fairly neutral. It's a tabby kitten and he's in my hand in both photos, so there's really no bright colors to distract from the color palette of my counterfeit kit. So the one thing that I'm gonna do different also is I'm adding a few more circles in the form of those chipboard pieces that you see. Now those weren't actually a part of my counterfeit kit. They just happened to match, and if I had realized they matched so well, they probably would have been dropped into my counterfeit kit. Just like any kit that you purchase, you are allowed to add to your counterfeit kit from your stash. And I like to do at least one layout a month that I haven't pulled anything from my stash. This is not going to be one of those because all of the chipboard circles were from a previous layout I think I have done a couple months ago, and I hadn't put them away. So I'm going to go ahead and distress this circle. I hadn't previously distressed it because I didn't think I was going to use it, and then I decided I was going to use it, so I want to get it distressed so that it matches the others. Now all of these circles I will be cutting off the edges off camera, so they're not going to look like that when the layout is finished. So the phrases that I'm pulling from are actually from my counterfeit kit, and I believe they're Becky Higgins' Project Life bits and pieces that I picked up at Tuesday morning at one point. So I'm going to be pulling a couple phrases from there, and the half circle came from that set of thickers or chipboard stickers as well. So Karen also had some stamping. She used a circle stamp on her layout, and I decided that I wanted to use this Tim Holtz stamp that I purchased recently in place of a circle. It's circular in nature. It looks like string that's all wadded up into a circular pattern, and I decided to use that with Distress Oxide ink. I believe that is Faded Jeans that I am using. So the next thing I will do is add some splatters to the layout to finish it off. All right, I am done with this scrap lift. Of course, I did things just a little bit differently because that's just how I roll. I went ahead and I did 3 butterflies. My circles have chipboard circles on them to bring in more colors. I do still need to trim the top of this off because that washi tape is a little bit longer than my background paper. I did the splatters. I put some of these circles up on foam, not all of them because I had the chipboard that kind of gives it a little depth as well. And I think the last thing we're going to do is we're going to plop some of these little baubles that I made to mimic the ones in the original inspiration kit for Counterfeit Kit Club. And that's pretty much gonna be it. I'm only gonna put 3 of these on here. In case you didn't realize it, I actually made these as a forgery on the 4th. There is a video on my channel showing where and how I made them. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber, I would love to have you subscribe. I do appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments or questions about my layout, drop them below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I also want to thank Miss Karen for the lovely layout to lift, and I also want to wish her a very happy birthday. We love having you on our team. You bring a lot of creativity to our group and you help us think and push us, so we are appreciative of you. Hope you have a great day, Karen.